Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy rainy Wednesday, y'all. This is the WOWW Podcast.
I think it's been raining for like 3 weeks.
Yes. WOWW, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. I am the owner of Freedom Holistic Wellness, co-owner with my husband of Grace and Grove Homestead, author, holistic nutrition specialist, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of Jesus, and all things non-toxic. And this is my amazing bestie, Wendy Flournoy.
Hey guys, Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotherapist, herbalist, forager, gardener, cook, janitor, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of all things non-toxic and God-given.
That's right, sister. Yes, this rain feels like it's gone on for 182 days. I feel like
I'm trying so hard not to complain because we need it so bad.
I know. I'm wondering if we missed the memo. Are we supposed to be building an ark? What is happening? I mean, it's a lot.
Yes, it is.
But we had to cancel our Pentecost picnic on Sunday because it was just too much. I mean, it's like a mud bog out here. It was crazy. But all good. So what you been up to this last week, my love?
Oh my goodness, girl. Things are coming in like crazy. I was showing you before we went live, you guys. I was out picking some lavender because that's our herb of the day.
So
and then a lot more garlic scapes.
Oh, love it.
You know, everything. And I know that once it stops raining and the sun comes out for a couple of days, things are just going to
Yes.
So next week is going to be crazy. As soon as the sun comes out and things dry up just a tiny bit, things are going to be crazy.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Freeze dry going even more.
Yeah, we got to enjoy our first garlic scapes too.
Nice. It's wonderful. I mean, they are amazing, y'all. And garlic's so easy to grow. Anybody can do it.
Grow hard neck. Hard neck garlic.
Garlic scapes.
So that you get the garlic scapes. They're an extra little bonus gift every spring, but a good month or so before your garlic is ready. It's that's what.
Yeah, just in case you don't know, this is a garlic scape.
Yep.
Comes up in the middle of the hard neck garlic. And if you leave it, this turns into the flower and seed of garlic. But if you leave it, your garlic bulb is going to be teeny tiny if you get one at all.
Yeah. So you cut those off to let the energy of the plant go back into the bulb. But what a gift those are, because they are like, the best way I can describe them is like garlicky green beans or like a garlic green onion almost. Yeah. So, I just chopped them up in like 1-inch pieces and sauteed them in some meat and other veggies and stuff like that we had coming out of the garden the other day. But we make pesto with it, a garlic scape pesto, garlic scape butter. Wendy and I do that every year now because that's become our thing. And also Bill's absolutely favorite thing is to chop it up really fine and put it in hamburgers or meatloaf. And man, they're so good.
That's what I did. I cut them up really fine and freeze dried them. So I'll reconstitute them as I want or need them.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I love it. Yeah, we're hoping for lots more. We cut them all on Sunday. I'm sure after this rain, we're going to have a whole ton more.
Yes, you will, because it's getting to be time. It'll be about a month or so, and it'll be garlic time.
Yes, it will. So excited.
In case any of y'all didn't know, you plant garlic usually mid-October to beginning of November. I always do it around Halloween time just because that's what I've associated it with, so I don't ever forget.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That is right.
You just kind of plant it and you leave it and let it do its thing. That's it. It's very good at repelling underground pests and things like that.
Yep.
They don't like it.
You do not have to. Yeah, you don't have to worry about critters getting to it. It's like Wendy said, it's one of the easiest things to grow for that reason. I absolutely love it. And the reward, I mean, my goodness, if you are a garlic lover, I've always had this running joke. Wendy's the same way, that when I have a recipe that calls for 3 garlic cloves, I'm going to use 9. Like I triple always. So when you love garlic, like I do, to get your own fresh homemade garlic, homegrown garlic. Oh my goodness.
There's nothing like it.
It tastes like nothing you have ever tasted. It's so just delicious. I love it.
Everything else homegrown. It's just it's so much better.
Yeah.
And I need to check, I do the fermented vegetables and I make my own sauerkraut and things like that. And my girlfriend Marty was talking to me last night about some fermented garlic that she got at the Ren Fair last weekend. And she said, it's amazing. She said, Wendy, I've been eating like 5 or 6 cloves of garlic every day. And I'm like, I never thought about doing that. I probably should do that.
Yeah. Fermented garlic is delicious. It is. And I mean,
so many medicinal properties of garlic too. We'll have to go over that one day.
Yeah. I think we have in the past, but I'm sure we're due to do it again because we are on episode 81. Can you believe?
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
so we've covered a lot of ground, and it'll be time to repeat some things for sure. But
so what have you had going on the last week? I know your picnic got canceled and everything, and I know you're preparing for a big event this coming weekend.
Yes. My husband is getting baptized on Sunday, so we have my son is coming in to actually do the baptism along with our pastors. But my son's actually going to be the one that dunks him. That's love because he might want to hold him under a few extra seconds. No, it's such a blessing. My son has had such a big impact in my husband's life on him coming to Christ. And that was the first phone call Bill made was to him to ask him to participate in it in that way. So it's going to be a wonderful day. Yeah, we're very excited.
Matthew is amazing.
He is.
I don't think he even realizes how inspirational he is with his story and everything that he's been through. Your daughter too, Kirsty too. Both of their stories are just amazing.
Yes, I know. And Kirsty, they already have so much going on this coming weekend. They have a neighborhood yard sale that they do. That Kirsty coordinate every year along with some others. It's like a big thing all throughout the whole. But they made Alexa, my little 4-year-old granddaughter, they made her a lemonade stand.
Oh, sweet.
So they built it out of crates, and so she's going to be out there selling lemonade.
Oh my goodness, you're going to have to share those pictures.
I know.
That's adorable.
That's so perfect. And she is. I've been calling her boss baby since she could walk. I mean, because she's going to direct what everybody's doing. So the fact that they've already got her lined up to start her first entrepreneurial
that's right.
business totally makes sense at 4 years old.
My oldest granddaughter graduated pre-K yesterday morning. So Sunday afternoon, Rick and I picked her up to take her shopping for a dress and some shoes for the little graduation thing. My husband said he was having flashbacks because the first dress that I picked up and held and was like, Miss Jade, do you like this dress? Her answer was, that's not right. That's not right. So he was like, I'm flashing back to when our daughter was a teenager and her and I school clothes shopping. It would end up in a huge fight every time. And I was like, you know what? No, we're not doing that. I've learned from my mistakes. Miss Jade, come over here and pick out which dress you want. Well, she ended up with 5 dresses, and she had on these she was trying on these little cute white dress shoes with the like black heel or whatever. And she loved them because they were sparkly or whatever until she saw a pair of light up rhinestone tennis shoes. So she got 5 dresses and those light up tennis shoes.
I love it.
It looked adorable yesterday.
I love it. That's so cute. Oh,
I'm loving this Gigi era.
I am too. I highly recommend, folks.
Yes.
That is, yesterday mine called me and I had just signed it. Well, they called me a couple times FaceTime, but I had just left the gym and Carter calls me and he goes, Gigi, where are you? I said, Gigi's in her car. I just left the gym. Did you go swimming? It's like, he's just so cute, like so inquisitive. And I'm like, what do you know about women?
Right.
But he said, but you in your car, where Grampy? You know?
That's what the littles of mine like to do. Every time they get me on the FaceTime, where's Pawpaw?
Yep. Mine always ask me, where's Grampy?
Are you calling me or are you calling Pawpaw?
Right. Oh, I love them. I can't wait to see him again. I've hated this year, me not being able to travel much, but I'm doing some trial runs. I got a 6-hour round trip to Polyface Farm, maybe a little bit longer, 7-hour, in Swoop, Virginia, right outside of Stanton. Yes. I'm going to the 2 days of truth here in a couple of weekends. And which I'm so excited. Joel Salatin and Dr. Sina McCullough. If you've never listened to their Beyond Labels podcast, this is their annual 2-day conference they do, and I'm so excited to be going.
Take good notes.
Yeah, and then Wendy and I are both going to the Natural Hope Herbals Wellness Day, and they're just north of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So that'll be a 4-hour round trip for me. So if I can do okay with those, my next stop is going to be 11 hours because it's going to be another trip to Tennessee because I can't stand not going.
Right. That's right.
All right, girl, talk to us about lavender.
You guys, our herb of the week is lavender. I'm sure most of us are familiar with lavender and the way it smells. Some people don't like the smell of lavender. They say it's too strong, but most herbalists know that lavender is like a natural hug for your nervous system.
I love it.
You know, so it's gentle. It smells good. You can use it aromatically. It's part of the mint family. So many plants are related to the mint family.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff. There's so many different varieties of lavender. Like we showed you guys last week, I had a darker lavender, a lighter lavender. I'm trying to grow different varieties just to see which ones I like, which ones work better for the products that I make. Mostly used are the flower buds. I typically like to harvest mine when the flowers are like half open. Once the flower buds form, they have the most oil content right before they open. So that's why I typically like to harvest them only when they're like half.
Okay.
So then they're kind of full of and harvest in the morning, like most things, because it's holding all the highest concentration of oils in them at that point. So sometimes
universal. That's universal, right? I knew that was the case with like mullein and certain ones, but that's just universal. You should always do in the morning. That makes sense.
I mean, not to say that it doesn't have medicinal value after morning time. It's just the highest concentration levels then.
Got it.
So I try to do it in the mornings. Of course, life is life. If you have to do it in the evenings after work, it's okay.
You'll be fine.
Yes. I also harvest the little leaves. I will mix that when I dry them. I keep this jar, so I will dry them, freeze dry them. I will take some off of the buds and the leaves off of the stems, but then I will just save stems, complete whole stems too, because it just depends on what I'm doing. Because some of the stems I'll like to bundle up with sage and burn them as a house.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it just depends on what I want to use them for. Sage is a great house cleaner to burn, but mixed with the lavender, it smells so much better. I don't particularly like the smell of burning sage. So lavender's been around since ancient times. I was telling Wendy before we started, I think I'm going to do a series on biblical herbs.
I love that.
Uses and things like that. Lavender, however, is not specifically mentioned in the Bible. However, a lot of biblical scholars are saying that it was around and it may have been called something else or something related to the lavender family.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that the hyssop is related to the lavender family, and they could have been using those interchangeably kind of thing.
I was wondering about that.
But I'm going to dive a little deeper on that and do some research for the series. So we'll have more on that later.
I love that. I think that's awesome.
So the common preparations for lavender, of course, is tea.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that it's calming. A lot of people use lavender oil in their diffusers and things like that. The pillow, the little things that go under the pillow for helping sleep. The smoking blends just for burning, for scent.
Mm-hmm.
It's traditionally used for insomnia.
Mm-hmm.
If you have difficulty falling asleep, lavender, just smelling lavender will help calm the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a light sleeper, it will help you sleep deeper. If you have racing thoughts at bedtime, it will help calm all of that down. If you have any kind of nighttime anxiety, it's good for that. I would suggest like a lavender tea, some kind of lavender tea before bed, maybe mixed with a little chamomile, something like that, or rose hips. That would be a really good nighttime tea. Put a few drops of lavender oil, essential oil on your pillow, something like that. Even using it in the bath, whether you're using flowers or the oil mixed with Epsom salts, take a bath in that, and you're going to get that sense of just overwhelming calmness, mentally and physically.
I haven't taken a bath in a while because we just don't have, I think when I first started having all my pain, I did in the house, but we just don't have a great bathtub for that.
Yeah.
But I did Epsom salt with lavender and frankincense, and it was just amazing.
Yes.
So relaxing. And you used to make with your old business, Sandman sprinkles. What was in that? Because it was lavender, but anything else?
Lavender was the main thing. I'd have to look up the recipe. I want to do the room sprays again, but I need to find an affordable glass spray bottle.
Got it. Yes.
That's the problem because we were using plastic for those.
Yeah.
I'm going to get as much away from the plastic as possible. And the glass bottles are just so stinking expensive.
They are.
That I would rather just teach people how to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's more affordable that way. You know what I mean? So we'll maybe have a class on room sprays and people can decide what they want to put it in.
That'd be great. Well, I still spray my pillow with it. You know,
Yes.
I mean, I haven't done it obviously every single night since you gave it to me. Otherwise it wouldn't, still be there. But I've used it a lot, especially when I'm going through really hard seasons of, nighttime anxiety and stuff like that. I will spray my pillow with it. When I was first battling all my pain, I pulled it back out and sprayed it every night, just whatever I could do to settle down.
Right. Yeah, that was Sandman sprinkles. We had a tea and a spray.
Uh-huh.
I might have to bring that back. I'll talk to her about that because I don't like to do anything that we did as a partnership.
Yeah.
Without her permission.
No, that makes total sense. And I do want to share, I've got Wendy's QR code up at the top for the Restoration Garden. She is accepting orders now on her website.
It is finally working, you guys.
Yes.
I want to shout out to Andrea Boone thank you for your order. You were the first one where everything worked perfectly.
Woohoo! That's awesome. That is awesome. So definitely support Wendy in that way. She's doing amazing work. I mean, my tea drawer that I have is loaded with so many different blends from Wendy. Y'all have no idea. Between that and her shampoo bar and soaps and all the things, she's so talented. My daughter is obsessed with the face care that you made for her and my daughter-in-law that I was able to put in their Christmas gift baskets. She's like, man, my daughter has always been very big on her skincare, and she's like, I can't believe I was able to get rid of all of this other stuff I've been using for years. And she said it works so much better.
Yeah. I think I ended up naming that Grace Face.
I love it.
Particularly pointed to those women in their 30s who are child rearing. Yeah, it's great.
So support Wendy for sure.
It's so much fun. And that's where, all of my products come from a need.
Yeah.
Someone asks me for something, or I need something, or I want something. The tea blends, sometimes they're just for fun, just to see what it tastes like. A lot of times it starts as a medicinal use, and then trying to make that medicinal use taste good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So lavender supports digestion too. Okay, it's considered a gentle digestive herb. It will calm a nervous stomach. It helps with indigestion. It helps with gas and bloating. It helps with anything if you're nauseous.
Okay.
I would pair it with ginger, just to get the power of the ginger for nauseousness. Anything that's stress related digestively.
Okay.
Okay, so I wouldn't say it's anything else. If it's geared toward stress, then lavender is going to help you the most. Okay. Let's see. If you have, during your time of the month, if you have mild cramps, it's known to help with that.
Nice.
Because it's a carminative, it reduces gas. It's antispasmodic, which helps with the cramps and just calming things down. And what it does is just kind of relaxes those digestive muscles. So it's not overpowering. It's not hard hitting. It's just a very subtle, gentle hug.
Love it.
Support,
Love it. That's such a great descriptor of lavender, because every time I have pulled it out, for anything, whether it be essential oil to diffuse, or whether that's exactly what it feels like. It's just it's so
a nice, soft, gentle, supportive hug.
Yeah, it's just comforting.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's also good for tension headaches.
Okay.
Migraines, just like if you made a cup of tea, just sitting there and smelling it is going to help release all of that head tension and things. Any kind of neck tightness, just minor little aches, because it's going to help you to just relax. And when you relax, things loosen up and they tend to stop hurting.
You know what would be awesome?
What?
It's to create a headache tea, Wendy, because I'm putting in my request. That has that, ashwagandha, and magnesium glycinate in it. That would be, like some form of that in it. That would be so. I'm just thinking about the properties, with the smooth muscle relaxing of the magnesium, and then to be able to add in the ashwagandha for the adaptogen properties, and then the lavender on top. All right, I just put in my request, y'all. You heard it.
I'm writing down, girl.
You heard it here first.
I will be experimenting. Now you know what I'll be doing this weekend.
Yes. I just think that would be, and maybe even some rose. What else would be good for head? I don't know.
I'll probably start with the base and then taste it, and then work a couple of things in, because I got a couple of things in mind, and just mix them and see how it tastes.
Yeah.
And
a nice headache blend.
Yeah. I know Bobby Lynn and I used to make a roll-on out of the essential oils, and it was called Release Me. And you roll it on your temples and the side of your neck and things, and it had the frankincense and the lavender, and it had the magnesium in it. So I'm like, a tea would be really good.
Yeah, that'd be
all right. I'll work on that for you, girlfriend.
Very good. Very good.
See, y'all, this is where my stuff comes from. Somebody's saying, could you do this or could you do that?
I love it, because you've created some of the most, not only are they beneficial, but just so tasty. I mean, like, I have so many different things. I don't go to bed anymore without your nighttime blends and things like, oh my goodness.
They're good. They're really good. And, I don't particularly like to drink tea for medicine. Okay, because it's too earthy, it's too medicine tasting. I want to enjoy my tea. I want my routine to be enjoyable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Same.
So how can that be enjoyable if it tastes nasty?
Yeah. 100%.
And I'm still, I have a couple of tea blends to send you that I'm playing with.
Okay.
So, yeah, I always think Wendy the first ones. So
I'll be your guinea pig. I'll do it.
Is this good or not?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. For sure.
I'm telling you what, lavender is also really great in like infused oil. Infusing it in oil, and you can make a body butter or a balm or anything to just rub on different places that are inflamed or whatever. It really helps with like minor burns, tiny scrapes, paper cuts. I got one on my thumb right now. Any kind of mini bug bites, sunburn, acne, skin irritations, dry skin, anything like that.
Anything that needs to be calmed down.
Yeah, it's like if you pair lavender with calendula, you have a powerhouse for skin irritations.
Nice.
I don't typically put lavender in my calendula balm because some people are sensitive to the smell and the scent and things like that. So
interesting.
Some people aren't.
Yeah. It seems so mild. I mean, is that one that works good if you're making it for like children, or is that something that you shouldn't?
It depends on the child. I would always test that. You know, I am not a doctor and don't play one on YouTube. So I would always test in small amounts with children just to figure out if they're one of the sensitive people or not.
Yeah.
Because there are people out here that are sensitive to lavender, sensitive to the smell. There's some people that think lavender is too strong and can't stand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, I walk in the house because I have a lavender plant by each one of my doors. I walk in and do this. Yeah. You know, because just kind of, I love it. I love it.
It is. It's so good.
So it is antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, mild antiseptic. You can use it in oils. You can make salves. You can make a hydrosol. If we'll get into hydrosols later down the road, you can make cream. In small batches, you can pretty much do anything that you need to do with it at home. You don't have to go out for it. It's traditionally used for mild coughs, congestions, stress-related relaxing. Okay, any kind of tension from stress, whether it's digestive, breathing, whatever. It's just made to relax the system. It's really good for using it in a steam pot. You put it in a pot, and you just like, and that's what your tea does too.
Yeah,
it's like a mini steam pot. You can put it into a chest rub. It's great particularly for women's issues. It's great combined with the red raspberry leaf that we were talking about last week. Lemon balm, of course, which goes with everything. It is a nervine, and that's what makes things relax. So it's really good for the nervous system, just like the ashwagandha for the adaptogenic properties. It's a mild sedative. Some people, it kind of hypes up instead of making them sleepy. And that's why you want to test things, because not everybody's the same. Yeah. You may be one of those people that it's like, oh my gosh, that winds me up. I can't go to sleep. So always test it before you decide.
Yeah.
So to make a cup of tea like this size, which is like 8 to 10 ounces, all you would need is 2 teaspoons of dried lavender.
Okay.
For that much hot water. Let it sit, cover it, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and you're going to have all the medicinal benefits from that in that cup of tea.
Love it.
Yes, it's very, very easy. It's easy to grow too once you get the plant started. Wendy and I were talking about this too. It is, I've had such bad luck sometimes with seed starting lavender.
Same.
Because if the seeds do actually come up, they will get to 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then all of a sudden they die. They're gone. Yeah. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. Well, I have only found one variety that I've had really good luck with actually becoming a plant, and that is the Vera, Vera lavender. So I am experimenting with different lavender seeds to see which ones I can get to become actual plants.
It's driven me nuts. I mean, I keep looking at my pot out there and I'm like, look, come on.
What is going on? Why can't I grow this?
I've tried so many times and I just can't get it to sprout. And so or I'll do like you. I'll get sprouts that are like that big and then all of a sudden they're gone. And I'm like, what is happening?
So anybody out there that's familiar or expert on growing lavender or how to get the seeds to germinate and grow into actual plants, please give us some tips and tricks.
Yes, because otherwise I'm just going to have to go buy some small plants and then nurture them, because that's the only thing, because that's what you ended up doing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have that one Vera plant that's done fine, but the other three, I bought plants from a local nursery. Yeah. I do want to caution people to be very careful with lavender essential oil, because it's extremely concentrated. You want to make sure that you dilute it before using it on any part of your skin. Kind of as with most essential oils, they're kind of like that. They will kind of burn you, you know. Let's see. Spiritually and historically, lavender has been used for purification, for peace, for protection, cleansing, and for hospitality. This was an interesting historical fact. The Romans used lavender in their baths, and monasteries commonly cultivated in their healing gardens for the smell. I was like, okay, that's cool. So if you're growing lavender loves full sun. Like I said, I put it by each one of my front door and my side door. Because when I'm walking in from work or just being out working or whatever, I love to just grab it and rub my hands on it and smell it. It's just something very, very soothing and calming about it. It doesn't like to be soaked in wet or stay wet. It likes good drainage and airflow. Now, I will tell you from experience that I killed a 5-year-old lavender plant by not pruning it.
Interesting.
When you don't cut them back as recommended and don't prune it, what will happen is the inside will start to rot. And I'm like, man, that thing was huge. I killed it by not cutting it. So, I've learned that as hard as it is to cut things that are just fine, sometimes we have to, just like our trees, pruning our fruit trees and things like that. It's so hard to pull that fruit off and cut those branches, but it must be done in order for it to, once it flowers like this, you want to cut like 3/4 of it, of the stems. Okay, so it's like once you get to the bottom here is then when you'll get to the parts where it has all the leaves down here, you want to cut like all of this, but 1/4 of the leaves. Okay. So that's why I say 3/4, but don't go cutting 3/4 of the leaf part.
Right.
Just 1/4 of the leaf parts.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. If you are harvesting them and not freeze drying them and just want to dry them, you can tie them in a little bundle and hang them up. They'll dry quickly. Just don't make the bundles too big. Make sure they have plenty of air flowing through. They'll dry in no time, and you can run your hand down them and all the things will fall off, and you can put them in a little container and use them whenever you like. Most people are fine with lavender. Like I said, even pregnant women, they say is fine because it's so gentle. But like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube. So test it for yourself or talk to your general practitioner.
Yes.
And that's all I have on lavender.
All right. Very good. Well, unlike last week where Wendy talked about something that easily flowed into what I chose for a topic, this time that's not the case, though they're not, at odds with each other. Yes. But I'm going to totally shift gears into metabolic health. And this might actually be a 2-part thing because I'm not going to probably have time to really cover everything. But I'm going to start this off by just telling you all that the more I get the ability to dive into blood work on people, the more, and I'm talking functional blood work, y'all. I mean, as a matter of fact, let me throw up Function Health Labs right here. That is now the QR code at the top of our screen. Guys, if you have not gotten your Functional Health Labs done yet, the information you get from this is going to blow your mind. It is going to dive deeper into what could be going on with you many, many, many years before disease creeps in. I just got I had the honor of going through my kids and my son-in-law's blood work.
Nice.
And I'm so grateful they did that, because now I'm looking at all of these people in their 30s who I love very much, who don't have any disease, but they have some underlying things that are easy things to correct now. And so to be able to do that, to be able to celebrate how well they are doing, but also to say, okay, let's fine tune here. But one thing I am seeing universally, and the more and more I have studied the functional launch, I guess, for lack of a better term, the functional start of everybody's disease, it almost always is rooted in poor metabolic health. So, and this is not, so let's put it this way. In my 30s, I was not in good health, and I was very overweight, and I was burning the candle at both ends and working all those hours as a night shift, nurse and all this stuff. And I was pre-diabetic. By the time you get to pre-diabetic, you've probably had a good 10 years of warning signs if we can watch the insulin, your fasting insulin level, your triglycerides, all of these things. So I am just going to put it out there that we're going to cover as much as I can today, the rest next week. But if you want to know truly what is going on in your body, get these functional labs done. It's $365 for a year, which covers 2 panels. Usually with my QR code, it'll give you $25 off your first subscription. It is worth its weight in gold. And then, yes, you will get a practitioner overview of what all what all the recommendations are. If you want somebody to dive in deeper who can get to know you personally, that's what I'm doing, y'all. Yeah. All of my programs now have the functional labs as part of it, and I fine tune exactly what we need to make sure that we are pointing you in the direction of the optimal health, and in particular metabolic health. So anyway, this is not a vanity conversation when we're talking about metabolic health, visceral fat, and its relation to disease. This is a stewardship conversation. Yeah. So I just really want you all to think about, how are you stewarding your bodies? This is not about chasing some number on your genes, or a certain number on the scale, or, let me get skinny, but it's also not about shaming or about perfection or about anything like that we always associate, so many times we associate weight loss with. It's about understanding the environment you're creating in your body every single day. Okay. Every day. I've talked about this before. Every decision you make is either working towards a positive benefit in your body and in your health, or a negative benefit. And really, all decisions, positive or negative. There's no neutral decisions, whether it be with your finances, your home, your relationships, nothing. That's so true. Especially with health, everything you are doing is either creating an environment that's going to foster disease, or creating an environment that's going to foster vitality. And one of the reasons why I love to look at these functional labs is because the body whispers before it screams.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is whispering underlying, hey, missing out on these nutrients, could really use your help here, Wendy, and it's doing that before you end up on tons of medications and all of that. So when you can catch this early, it's so important to be able to just create this great environment so that you will age well.
And these functional labs, they cover so many things that our regular lab work going to the doctor just they don't ever look at.
Roughly 120 markers.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky to get 19 or 20
at the
doctor, unless you have significant disease already. They're reactive. You're having all these signs. So now let's check and see where you are. No, you want this stuff so you can be preventative.
Right, exactly. Use it as preventative.
Yes. So, and most chronic disease does not develop overnight, y'all. I mean, it develops slowly over years. So the more information you can have ahead of time, the better. A lot of times we will have warning signs before diagnosis. So if you're having any kind of weird symptoms and you go to your doctor and your doctor says, nope, blood work looks great.
Yeah, you're fine.
You need these functional labs to be able to tell. So let's talk about real quick, what is metabolic health? Let me see what time frame we got. I'll cover what I can for about 5 minutes and then we'll table the rest to next week.
I'll say we'll do a part 2.
Yeah. So metabolic health is, for years as a nurse, I always thought of metabolic health as just diabetes. Like that was what we always looked at. Blood sugar equals diabetes, too much blood sugar. We didn't look at the whole big picture beyond that and what it can cause. So metabolic health is how efficiently your body creates and uses energy, how well you regulate your blood sugar, how sensitive your cells are to insulin, and this is so important. Also, how inflamed or non-inflamed your body is. So how many of you thought that inflammation has a direct effect on metabolic health? That is a big piece of it. Definitely. And also how healthy your hormones and mitochondria are. So I want to share, and I said this, I went off the deep end, so I don't want to go too deep on it this time, but I went off the deep end yesterday on a Q&A session I was leading about this. One of the reasons why I don't believe in cheat days. Now, does that mean that, you're totally ruining everything if you, go and grab a donut at Dunkin' Donuts? No, you're not. It's not the end of the world. But if you have a cheat day and that cheat day is completely off the rails and that leads into a cheat weekend and that leads into a whole week because, I'm just going to wait till Monday, or
and then you're like, I've really messed up now. Let me keep going.
Yeah. Or if you're somebody that works your butt off on your health all week and then says, you know what? I take off on the weekends. I go do whatever I want. And you know what? I know people in their 20s that can look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, it's working for me. I can have a cheat day every weekend or whatever. Let me tell you what happens. When you are doing some major damage with tons of toxins that you're taking into your body, it affects the cellular. It affects you on the cellular level. Yeah. Your cells regenerate every 90 days. So if you are continuously putting tons of garbage in your body, even once a week, so that you can just live out your cheat day, whatever, then you are poisoning your cells. You're damaging your cells every single week. Yeah. Now, some of those cells might be ready. They might be on their way out anyway. They might be getting ready to die off and regenerate, or they could be brand new cells. But the whole thing is that you are affecting the mitochondria of your cells. You're affecting the cell wall. You're affecting the health of all of your cells every time you choose to do that. So, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, don't ever, have a piece of cake at a wedding or something like that. I'm not going to tell you that. But what I am going to tell you is if that is your normal rhythm that you're creating, where it's like every week, from Friday night to Sunday afternoon, it's a free for all. I don't care how healthy you are Monday through Friday.
Yep.
It does not matter because you are, I'm not going to say it.
Why work that hard all week long just to go screw it all up on the weekends?
Exactly. And so, your cellular health, your metabolic health depends on healthy cells. So important for you to know that.
The cells are the foundation of metabolic health.
Yeah. So you can look thin and be metabolically unhealthy. Mm-hmm. Conversely, you can also carry extra weight while improving your metabolic health tremendously. And I'm prime example of this. I have always been about 20 pounds heavier than what the BMI chart said I should be. I am super healthy. Like, you look at my metabolic health and they should put my little numbers in it. My metabolic health is beautiful. So, it's not so much about what you're seeing in somebody. It's truly what's underlying. If you don't know, it's important for you to have all this data. It's so much more than your hemoglobin A1C and your fasting blood sugar.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So I will table getting into visceral fat and all of that. I just want to wrap up this thought today before we do part 2 next week. The one unique thing I am seeing, and I told Wendy, my heart in this, I'm working with a lot of people with cancer right now. I have worked with a lot of people with cancer ever since my husband had cancer. This was also true with him. Wendy she's just lost a dear friend to cancer. She's got, and that's not Michelle that we've been praying for. This is another friend, and Michelle is not doing well. And her husband's battled cancer. It's just all around us. So we need to start.
Anybody that hasn't been affected somehow by cancer.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've always said, I'm super hyper focused on this because everybody in my family dies of Alzheimer's and cancer. Like, we have the healthiest hearts. We have no problems with all the other stuff. It's Alzheimer's and cancer, which are both metabolic diseases we are finding now. They're calling Alzheimer's diabetes type 3.
Right. I heard that.
And the cancer they are showing more and more. I'm not saying that everybody who gets cancer has metabolic disease. I am telling you, it makes a dramatic increase in your risk.
Absolutely.
I have very few people that I have treated who have cancer who don't have poor metabolic health or extra visceral fat around their belly, which we'll talk about that piece next week. But the metabolic health, you need to get it under control now. Sugar feeds cancer. That's what it does. It's like I told my husband last week.
They've proven that. Scientists know that. Doctors know that.
We do know that because you know why they know that? Because if anybody has ever had a PET scan, and they're shooting that stuff in your body to make the cancer light up and get excited so they can tell where in your body you have cancer. They're shooting sugar in your veins. That's what they're doing. Yeah. So, but up until the last couple of years, it's just really opened my eyes learning more and more about metabolic health. I did my own test with the CGM for 6 weeks and things like that. But it's so much more than just what you're feeding somebody who's already in that situation. That's very important. Very important. I mean, like, I gave Bill no added sugar. We kept his carbs low. We were definitely feeding him very therapeutically so that we weren't fueling him with things the tumor thrives on. That's just silly. You don't want to do that. But it's so much more than that. Cancer is sparking. Cancer is thriving. Cancer cells are becoming an issue because people are having their metabolic health already in a poor state. Yes. They're already too sweet, so their blood sugar is already
unsweet.
Yes. Their blood sugar is already running too high. So this is something that I just cannot stress enough. If you are somebody who really wants a natural way to get into good metabolic health, y'all reach out to me. I'm going to talk about this until I'm blue in the face over the next couple of weeks. But this is such an important piece of what we get when we dive in deeper with these labs so that we can fine tune this before it becomes a problem. So what you got going on this week, my love?
Well, it looks like I'm making a headache tea.
That's awesome.
I'll be working on that this week. I'm sure as soon as the sun comes out for a couple of days, I'm going to be harvesting all kinds of stuff. I got the freeze dryer pretty much going nonstop. My dog is mad because it's in his room. He don't like to listen to it all the time, but 'tis the season.
That's right.
How about you? What you got going on?
Well, we got the big weekend with Matthew and Rubia coming in, with Bill getting baptized and being able to celebrate in that way. Hoping to get more gardening done if the Lord sees it fit to hold off on this rain. And
yeah, I think today and tomorrow, and then it's supposed to clear up here. I think yours is the same way.
Yeah.
I always be stalking your weather.
That's right. That's right. So got some fun stuff coming up. I'm actually taking my mama to, it just dawned on me, that's next week. My goodness. I have to take her down there near you next Tuesday because she's got a dentist appointment.
Okay. Nice.
Have to catch up or something. But yeah, so got to do that. Got to take her down the road to Richmond next week.
Okay.
But let's see here. We got one comment.
You are road tripping a lot lately. That's good practice.
Oh, Janet had said earlier in response to the pruning of the lavender. Yes, cut. That's how I thought I put it up on the screen. There we go. That's how I lost my lavender garden, original cuttings from my aunt's hedge when I was so busy going back and forth to help mom and dad. I remember your lavender, Janet. I'm so sad about that.
That I have learned the hard way too, Janet, that lavender, it likes to be pruned. Otherwise you're going to lose it.
Yeah, it does for sure. All right. Well, I hope you all have an amazing week. Please don't hesitate to reach out. The Freedom Holistic Wellness community is bustling. We are getting ready the second week of June to launch the Strengthen the Shift. That is the new program I have created. It is a 6-week program that is going to be focused on all of the things we need to do to optimize our bodies in the shift in perimenopause to postmenopausal years. This is going to be good for young women who need it for prevention, for women actively going through this, and for postmenopausal women, what you need to do after the change in your life has happened. And I also have a shout out in there for men, whether it be women who want to attend to share this stuff with their husbands because they go through changes too.
That's right.
Or men want to attend too. Everybody is welcome, but definitely join the Freedom Holistic Wellness community, where for $374 a year, you get all of these programs that used to cost at least
Wendy Sue in your pocket.
You do. You get a practitioner in your pocket. You get weekly meal plans, weekly e-cookbooks, constant programs that I update.
There's so much offered in there. You can pick and choose what you want or do it all.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's just such an encouraging group. So I hope you will all join us. And we will see you all next week. We love you guys.
Have a great one.
All right.